First off, I just want to say sorry if I sound sick. It's because I am, but I didn't want to wait until tomorrow to film this when I might feel better because it would be January 3rd. So here we go. So hi, I'm Andy, and I've dedicated the past 4 months of my CEL journey to work against scams, specifically online scams that target the undereducated or elderly. So my solution to this mission is to help the fight to educate everyone about scamming techniques and how they get to people. I have made a website that documents a lot of stuff about how scams work and how scammers do what they do. Half of the website I made sure to gear towards the elderly folk, as they are targeted and need help the most. Also, as this graph shows, not only are they targeted the most, but when they are targeted, the net loss of money is on average greater. This is the current design of the website. I wanted the color scheme to be easy on the eyes and sort of relate to the topic of like computers and programming and scamming, even though it's probably a little cliche, but I didn't have any better ideas. The website is pretty compact and it's supposed to be generally easy to use, but I'm not necessarily expecting an elderly person to come on here and read about it. It's just so everyone else can be educated and then we can spread the message to them in sort of an easier way that they're more used to by talking to them. The first draft of the website is done, but there's always going to be more to add just because there's going to be new scams that come in or just scams I haven't thought of. I need to write up a description of how they work and how to identify them and just how to avoid them. For building the website, I decided to use WordPress with Elementor just to make it a little bit easier, not as code heavy. While it is sort of drag and drop tools, they are a lot more clunky and harder to make look good, which took a while because they are developer grade. So here's a small tour of the website, by the way, that's been going on. But then the next step is where I need all of your help. Now, obviously, in an ideal world, my website would be the place to go for anything you would need to know about these scams and need to educate yourself. But that's just simply not realistic. It's not going to get out there that fast, and also it's never going to be perfect. But with everyone's effort and the conglomerate of what we have on the internet, everyone can educate themselves. If everyone knew the basic signs of these kinds of scams and just how to get around them and just know what the app TeamViewer is, scammers would make virtually zero money and people would not get their lives ruined just because they were emotionally manipulated by some random guy who's trained to do so.
Please save my job, ma'am. If I'll not earn for my family will die due to hunger, due to starvation. Please,
Yes,
ma'am,
of course. I mean, what should I do? I mean, I can.
Feeling bad for you. You are also like my grandmother.
I'm an honest
You are
person.
making me cry now. You are making me cry now. I'm getting attached to you.
Now, how do I fix this?
These scammers are not only better with technology than the average person, but as I just said, they're trained emotional manipulators. And if we all knew how to see through them, they wouldn't make any money. And it would be much easier to get them shut down in the places where they are operating. For who to look to educate yourself, Trilogy Media is a great one. Art and Ashton, two very different people who came together for scam fighting and just general knowledge about it. Obviously, every scam fighting video educates the watcher just so we can spread the message as far as we can. They really target everybody, not specifically towards elders, but they're videos, so they're pretty easy to digest and understand. Also, as always, Jim Browning, known as the godfather of scams. He is the main man himself. His is more focused on education, less on entertainment, so maybe a bit more boring, but still is very entertaining what he does. Most famously, was able to hack into scam call centers' television, CCTV, so that he could watch them, gather information on them, and then he did subject himself to some calls so he could figure out names of people in some very clever ways. So that whole series, watching the scammers, is very interesting. That's about it. Thanks for watching. I want to specifically thank Mr. Crayer for helping me through the tedious processes that were designing the website, even though it's quite a basic website. But if it got even somewhat difficult, I would need help. So thank you a lot for that.